all the time.
Where should I?
You can pin the images.
Pin the images. Shall I change
Be my
something?
assistant.
I can be your assistant.
Okay. Settle down. Okay. Nice to have you here. Third and last day of our conference, and I'm happy to have some friends from Czech Republic here. Oh. And we have planned that we have these guys here, Ondřej and Mikuláš, to do this speech, and we lost a speaker yesterday, Frank Herrmann from North Rhine-Westphalia in the parliament there. Therefore, they have to do a bit longer. Yeah, and now we start with procurement procedures lead by example of the City Council of Prague, and start.
Okay. Okay.
It's not that easy.
Classic. Oh. Okay. Okay. Right, that is okay.
Take your time. There's one speaker missing.
Yes, I know.
No rush.
Okay. I have to issue this primary and secondary monitor, but I can do all the primary. Oh, I think it's the what is the resolution of the?
That's okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay, we have a presentation. We can start now. Okay. I am Ondřej Profant from the Prague City Council. I am one of founders of Czech Pirate Parties, and I'm a programmer, and I will tell you about the public procurements and what's wrong with them. It's really mistaken area, and we illustrate it by the examples. Okay. In the last autumn, we hacked the radio network of Prague municipality. It's not so hard. It's pretty easy. What we have listened to, we have listened the Metropolitan Police, the police organized by the local government or the region. We listen to public transport company which runs the metro, tram links, buses, and stuff like this. And it's pretty big on Prague. We have very large transport, and the road service company, which maintains the roads, parks, and the city mobiliata, stuff like bins and benches on the street. Okay. What we heard too, for example, the controls of the digital transport signs management, like this signs, you have digital ones, like go straight on, or you can say to sign turn around. For example, in tunnel. Yes, it's not encrypted in Prague, and it's in the air. The controls of the signs. We heard the municipal police when coordinate with the nation police about the demonstration. Yes, it's pretty fun. They are historical about the security, but they speak unencrypted. I will show you. I prepare screencast. Unfortunately, it's in Czech, but I will show you what we see. Yes, this is the device I use. It's their price is 10 euros, and you can listen to police. Okay. I want to show you as is something like SMS in a radio. I find the part. Maybe I find the part. Yes. Okay, it's not. It's not good to use, but yes. This is some random charts, and there is the notification on the. Oh, sorry. There is some random charts, and there is the notification on the biggest bridge in Prague. Is the 5th May. There is a delay 2 minutes, and stuff like that. There are in the radio network. Okay. Okay. We want to introduce this issue on the Security Committee of Prague. I'm a member of City Council, and I have some duties. And I want to say this is a problem, but the committee cancel session for lack of interest. They not be able to go to the city hall and talk about it. They threaten us after we public the screencast about, yes, we fix it now, but it will be much expensive because we can do it quick. And I say, I noticed you year and a half ago about this issue, and I want to solve it on the Security Committee. It will be expensive. They are preparing a procurement to upgrade the infrastructure, but this procurement is actually more. This upgrade is actually more expensive than the all new infrastructure. The price of the radio network in Prague is about 700 millions of crowns. What is in euro?
I would say
Okay, 25 millions euros to 20 BTS. Is BTS stožáry? Yes, yes, the transmitters. Oh, 20 transmitters. And for now, they do nothing because they are afraid about the procurement because they know I will be read it and I will be criticized. It's 5 months about the cancelled security committee, and it's more than a year when I first noticed them about the issue, and they do nothing. Okay. Sorry. How I do it? It's pretty easy. As I say, I use open source software from the GitHub, and I write the tutorial to do it. It's pretty easy. I can show you its commands into terminal. I'm sorry, it's in Czech again, but it's only very simple commands using the GNU radio and software like this, with some patches about the proprietary protocol. As I say, the hardware cost 10 euros. It's this hardware. I forgot actually the hardware on my hotel. I would show you, and the screencast we seen. It's if you have the tutorial, it's really not that hard. You just need some testing with configs about the channels, and in one moment you heard the police how to speaking about donuts. But my first question is, why is this possible? Okay, I open the browser and I Google the Tetra network, and I read, modern secure radio. Modern, secure, not encrypted. What? Okay, why is this even possible? Yes, special license for the encryption in this system, and Prague doesn't include it in procurement, and we have an encrypted network. We update from the unencrypted network to encrypted network by the description, but we actually don't buy the license. Yes, it is really sucks. One note, in the USA are the police radio public, but this is the intent, actually. It's not the security issue. The policemen know about it's the public radio. They know they cannot say personal data in the air. In Prague, policemen are like ostriches with the hand in sand. I noticed them about this issue, but they do nothing. Yes. Yeah. Okay. uh, let's see why this is the structural problem of the procurements, of the government procurement procedure. Yes. Short story is the legislation about the procurement procedures. Of course, I have an experience from the Czech Republic, but I think it's very similar in all the European Union. Okay. Procurement procedure are projected to buy simple things like cars or the sidewalks. Okay, you are the measure of the small village. You want new sidewalks. Okay, you say, John, can you do new sidewalks? I have some monies here. Okay, John's do some sidewalks, and everyone see, okay, this is the sidewalks. If you buying a car, it's important for representation, of course. You buy some limo, you have your strictly definite requirements, like it's representative, it's expensive, it's very important for the measure. Okay, yes, this is easy, and this is how the world works in the previous century. Yes, very helpful is industry standards. If you can define the procurement by the industry standards. But how can you do it in IT? IT have some industry standards, but if you look at the open source versus proprietary enterprise software, you see the big difference. And this is the problem what I am solving in Prague. The mistakes in the systems are unqualified, not enough self-confidence employees of the city. We have small salaries in the public sector, and they are not qualified. They are not motivated, and they are not self-confident. Against the big company with the big name versus the lonely man from the office, from the bureau that may do some good procurement that cannot work. The important part is that the civil servant is responsive for the production, for the resolution of the procurement, but the wrong procurement write typically the suppliers. They write the wrong procurement, and they do it exactly as they wrote in the document. And this is the principal problem when we have not self-confident people in the office. Next mistakes. We have an lobbying from the vendors, like the little ones, like conferences, usual marketing, small gifts, and we have, of course, the direct corruption, direct personal connection, and issues like this. Oh, I'm sorry, to check. Very important is is the importance of the information systems or these data. For example, how big is the parameter which I have to protect? In the public sector in Czech, they say we have to protect all. Of course, you cannot now the public information by the law, like we met it with the annual report of the political parties. The annual report of the political parties are by the law public in the Czech Republic, but they are public only in parliament libraries. We walk into the library with Ivan and copy this annual reports, okay? And this was the problem for the government, that we public the public information, because they are paranoid and yes, they are unqualified. It's very important to look at the parameter and doing some reasonable parameter about the protection. Minimally 80% of data should be open data. There are no reason why not. And if you have an open data, you have the easy way. It's easy to publish the data, and that's all. You don't need doing anything else. But they are doing some paranoid information system. They are solving some security issues, but on the public data. Why? Okay, this is the next ideological stuffs, like form should have APIs and the only data which is good to protect, it's the personal data in the public sector. Of course, you have some military data, and but it's not the usual case. In the usual office, like city town, like usually ministry. You have a personal data and data which may be public. Okay. What can we do with this problem? It's a very structural problem. You see the pattern. But you can do it right. It's not so hard. And I have one shot, and I think I suggest with that. I'm going to describe you one public procurement on the website for Prague 7 is one of Prague districts, and I think it's a good example. Okay, we need the web page. Easy. First, you will need to collect materials. It's reasonable for us, but not for office. Office or the bureau or the city council would like to do only one procurement. They won't thinking about it. They won't manage the procurement procedure. They won't only have one letter with the "we need new webs, do something, we really don't care about the money." There's something. Okay, this is not the way. Okay, I have. Yes. We do it in this way. At the first time, in the preparations, we collect the knowledge about the web. The usual client, what wants our citizens, and stuff like that. It's independent at the my procurement because a lot of the works must have do the city hall. And separately we buy the design of the web. Okay, and this is the procurement, the formal part of procurement. We have 2 rounds. In the first round, we fight by quality. We defined minimal requirements, and rest of the features was on the potential suppliers. They give us the documentations about the web, the screenshots and stuff like this. Like we want to do it on the WordPress with that plugins and stuff like that. And we choose the 3 best, and in the second round they fight by price, and they know the oriented price from the first round. Okay, and it actually works. In the first round they fight by quality. We go to the higher standard that we expected, and in second round they fight by price, and we do to lower price that we expected. That it's good working free market. And after we do a procurement, we want we do not want a vendor lock-in. It's very bad in IT. Okay, I say a deployment. The supplier doesn't doing any deployment. It's very usual in Czech Republic that supplier actually doing the deployment and the normal execution of the system. But I say no. I say you give me a source code, and you will organize an tutorial for our employees, and the employees will be able to deploy the package from the source code, and there is no vendor lock-ins. Yes, I will say. Okay. The next requirement was they should use solution on a widespread open source framework with some modification like plugins and stuff like that. But all the part have to be open sourced. The Wind solutions is on WordPress. Next two solutions are on next to solution in the second round was on Drupal and Joomla. It's actually work some market between the open source frameworks. I think it's good. It's not the very difficult website, I think, but it some works. Yes, and yes, the suppliers has tasks, submit the source code, and on the final training, teach how to deploy the submitted source code. And we have no vendor lock-ins. We have lower price, and we have higher quality. That works, actually. Okay, and that's all. Do you have any questions? Okay. Yeah. Hi. Go. Okay.
Well, anyway, I think I have a loud voice.
But for the record.
Let's try it this way. How do you protect in your mechanism yourself against the building of cartels? That groups of vendors work together, and so in the end, you get 5 proposals, but they are all more or less on the same level of price, because that can happen all the time.
Yes, I know. Always this is an issue, but I or we přemýšlím.
Okay, there is no genuine solution how to solve this problem. Basically, we have invited some other people to participate in the competition, and when there is bigger concurrence, then there is a better chance. But in general, what you need is a bigger market, basically, which is always a problem because Czechia is a small country and somehow language isolated. So you need to somehow invite people from outside, which is of course problem of language and so on.
And the legislative.
And legislation.
Yes.
I have my experience with procurement both in the public sector and also in industry. And the problems in industry are exactly the same. And for instance, the worst year of my professional life was 2002, when I was selling IT projects to the EU. And in principle, what happened was that twice a month, I got a fax, approximately 15 pages. I hope that they are on email now, but in these days it was fax. And each project that they wanted to do was described by just 3 lines, so you know the amount of projects they wanted to do. It was the name of the project, the directory which was responsible for, and the 3rd line was the price. They said, we are willing to spend that much money on the project. Now, then you went on and said, okay, based on the project name, this might be, and on the directory, this might be interesting for our company. And you ask additional information, and then you got, and you could do that by email, by the way. Then you got another fax, which could be very long, because that was the project description, the requirements, basically. Based on that, you prepared your bid. If something was unclear in the project description, you sent an email asking for clarification. And what happened, or if you, for instance, found out that they asked for something which was not possible, this also happened occasionally, you ask for clarification, and then, because of the requirement for fairness, everyone who had said that he's interested in that project got the clarification and the question. So you did a good job by telling them that, hey guys, this stuff is not possible, and all the others got the information. It's okay for the EU, but it's not always fair for the bidder because we spend a lot of work reading that stuff, finding the problems, etc. So in the EU, for instance, if you write the specification, I'm just finished. If you write the specification, you are not allowed to bid. So the price that they guess is totally irrelevant. If, for instance, you do something for BMW here in Munich, then if you write the specification, there's a price in there. You actually, in order to get that contract, you have to agree that you will offer the implementation of that software by that price.
As a Czech pirate, I've got experience of what happening. You said about the cartels and stuff. We are not that far at all. The thing that we are solving first is that if there is a user data in there, it doesn't mean it cannot be RFI'd and bidded through the public competition, which currently the e-commerce I was talking yesterday about was given to IBM without no selection of the vendor. The second thing, there is a still vendor locked in because requirements are set up the way it is in the. It's got to work for the previous solution, which was an open software, or you are not the owner of the source code. And the third one is, and I don't know if pirates on the Czech in Prague, or they hit to that, they start to actually have good specification of the product, but they overshoot it, the requirements, so no one who is really in IT freely cannot sign the kind of commitment and the service level agreement. You need to have a friend inside of the institution that he would never complain and require you fill those SLAs. I do run like 2 or 3 vendor selections for the commercial sector, and it's also for the governmental purposes. And you just cannot sign it if you don't have friends inside, because it's like in 3 days you should be able to hand all the work to another supplier and stuff like that. So we are not that far. We slowly getting to from certain price you cannot just give it to someone. So we will get to that, I'm pretty sure, but we are on much tough layer right now with the selection.
Yes, Ivan is perfectly right. This is the great problem.
Thank you. I have a question. Thank you very much on your presentation on communication. I have a question. There are also some radio networks serving for safety-related and security-related data
this is the case.
Well, yeah. What you show on the signs for the traffic is not. It's information.
But
actually.
the integrate záchranný system or the rescue system, the healthcares, and using these networks.
My question is especially on the railway network. For example, České dráhy or Czech Railways, they started to some pilot projects according to the European standard, to transmit the movement authorities for trains, so how long and with how much speed they are allowed to move by GSMR, which is some special frequencies of GSM. And my question would be, do you have any similar analysis on this system?
No, I haven't now, but we have some analysis in Prague about the feature of the radio networks, and there is some connection to LTE, classic GSM, but I'm not so far. I'm sorry.
Any further questions? Okay.
I'm sorry, it's not so long.
Okay, good. Yeah, we had a big pause now and a break. Two. Yeah. And then we will see the next topic with two other, and I want to have you here in 1.5 hours, 2 hours at the moment, and thank you for that, and nice to have you here.